forward. Mackey, though, checked by Pilash, who kept it in. And now off the play, we're going to have a fight. Prost has the gloves off along the board with Davien. Brandon Prost and Guillaume Davien, neither a stranger to this activity. And they've each gotten a couple of short shots in. And Davien able to get the helmet off. That's what he was hoping for. As Prost tries to work for the uppercut, as Davien's right arm fairly well tied up.
Not much happening. A lot of holding. Very difficult.
And now both helmets are off. They look tired, don't they?
They do.
Well, maybe not quite yet. They're not finished, and finally the linesmen are in.
I talked with Davien about a week ago about his off-ice activities, his new love of spinning, and he was spinning there.
Moved it into the zone. Handley pulls up. Tried to center, that didn't connect. Stevenson to Kalanos. Handley trying to sneak in. Back door. Couldn't find the alley. Stevenson to Kalanos. There's Stevenson. Now walks to the dot. Kalanos down low with a stuff attempt, but hugging the post was Pavlik. He wants to cover. Oh, no, went in the net. And Pavlik unhappy that the whistle did not sound, but apparently the referee saw it the entire way, or at least that's what he seemed to be saying. And it's 1-0 Quad City.
Now, there's been a couple of situations with quick whistles in this game in the first 20 minutes, and it seemed like there was a lot of bodies around Pavlik, and the initial shot, it looked to me that it might be underneath him. He might have a better vantage from this angle. Stevenson, Kalanos, stuff attempt. Puck is definitely loose, but at this point...
Well, where did the official see it?
I don't know at all. I can't see it. It's in his pad right up against the post after the second attempt. This is Stevenson coming in to the play. At this point, you would think the whistle would go.
That's got to be a whistle.
Yeah, that is a bad call, I believe, and I can see why Andre Pavlik was upset. It just sneaks over the line. Great shot. Freezing it or making sure it got out. It was an errant pass and kept alive by the Flames.
Who just scored on a power play a moment ago. In behind. They scored from behind the net again. And Kalanos has made it 2-0 Quad City.
A lot of teams are doing this against Andre Pavlik, and I think this is one of the weaknesses of his game, if there was going to be any, is getting from post to post and covering pucks down low in that area. Face-off battle, Crockett's taken off. Stevenson with the puck, he's just going to slide it behind the goal and quickly around the net. Andre Pavlik not set. He's got to realize what's going on. He's got to see this play develop. He moves across, but not very good positioning by the goaltender. Stick not in the right position. And Kalanos able to find the wickets empty.
2 power play goals in 63 seconds for the Flames. And now the Wolves are going to be put to a test.
But have not lost a regulation back-to-back since November.
Here's a Lavallee rough run. He scored. Jordan Lavallee scored from behind the net. That's where all the offense is coming from tonight. It's 2-1.
Oh, just exactly. We were talking about how do you muster up some offense, and quite honestly, we have seen this play happen so much against the Wolves, and the Wolves having a tough time or a difficult time getting the nice plays to settle for themselves. So a little wraparound, not a bad play. Jordan Lavallee very quick to pounce on the puck, and it's actually a face-off win. Lavallee in that position for Slater. Good shot on net that does get through. Lavallee goes all the way around, and quickly the stuff attempt. And quite honestly, Cron out of position, but he didn't get any help from his defense. Palin knocking him down, so difficult to get across. And the Wolves finally on the board.
So a big goal for Jordan Lavallee and the Wolves, who now trail 2-1. Sterling has to get back. And a penalty's going to be called against the Flames again. They just kill off one infraction. They're going to get tagged with another. 6 attackers out for the Wolves. Krog pulling up, trying to center. Deflected to Hayar, open net. Brett Sterling tied up 2 players out in front of the goal. That allowed an empty netter for the captain in 2-2. 2.
It starts with a good play in puck possession. Vandergulen was going to go off for a penalty in the offensive zone, and the Wolves continued up the ice. They got Andre Pavlik to the bench. Jason Krog holding up, pulls up, looks. His puck is an errant, or his pass is an errant one. But what a play by Brett Sterling, taking Hambley and Cunning to the front of the goal, tying both of them up, as Pat mentioned. And this is where he earns his keep. It's not an easy position, but he does what he does best, and that's being strong in that area. He touches up on the puck, and Darren Hadar ends up having an empty net to tie the game.
Talking about the Flames offense, or lack of it. The last 15 games, they've fired the draw. Face-off win yields the lead goal for the Wolves. Hammered home, and it's 3-2 Chicago.
And the only guy with a streak still alive, because he did not dress last game, is Alexander Giroux, and he lets go of the shot. In 3 games now, he has 4 goals since being inserted back in the lineup, his 12th of the season. And this is all. I was talking at the other end about how important the faceoff was defensively, with only 12 seconds or 15 seconds remaining in the penalty. There's a nice faceoff straight back by Brian Little on target. He works hard to get it straight back. And a quick shot from Giroux beats, or handcuffs, Cron underneath the glove hand side.
Slater is a left-hand shot.
And they did the opposite on the other side. Maybe they like those sides. I'm not sure. For me, that's not the side I would like more.
Peters in for the Flames. Now ready. Peters got the draw. Oh, rambled, and a stick tied up. Couldn't get rid of it. Calanos, the shot deflected upstairs. That will finish the game. And then Peters in a little kerfuffle as the final horn sounds, but the Wolves have beaten the Flames for the 5th time in 6 tries. And a dogged come-from-behind victory for the visitors.
After trailing 2-0 through power play markers for Quad City, the Wolves needed something to happen. They got that from Jordan LaValle to get themselves in the game, and it looked like they needed that spark. And from then on, the second period was dominated by them. Had some struggles here in the third, but scored the winning goal on the, as we just showed you, a nice face-off win by Brian Little, and take the 2 big points. Much needed 2 points.
And how good was that guy?
Again, at times, you know, you get good goaltending at times in a game, but it's the timely saves that can spur you on, I think, as a teammate. A guy watching, the game could have got out of hand, could have been 3-0 in favor at times, I think, in the early on, Pat, for Quad City, but he made those timely saves, and that picks the bench up. And the guys, I think, saw that, started to play much better through the second period, and took over the game.
Quad Cities gets 11 shots in the third, 31 in the game. The Wolves 6 in the third, 26 in the game. And there is the game-winning goal on the Sun Times summary. Giroux on a little face-off win, powered home his 12th of the year, 11.5 in. And that is the difference in the game. There's your final. The Wolves have won for the 5th time in 6 starts overall. Back in a moment. This is Chicago Wolves hockey.